we'll discuss. Okay. So last class we discussed a couple of things like what is web application, what is distributed application, and what are the different types of HTTP methods, right? We discussed the entire things. So what is standalone application, enterprise application, everything we discussed, right? So after that, what is server, what is client, what is protocol, everything we discussed. So now next topic, what are the steps to design the servlet application, web application, right? So if you want to develop any servlet application by using, sorry, if you want to perform any, if you want to prepare any web application by using servlet, like let's say a servlet application, they have couple of steps we need to perform. First of all, we have to prepare web application directory structure. Okay, that is the first one. Second one, prepare deployment descriptor. Okay. Third one, we have to prepare the web resource like servlets. So fourth one, you need to start the server. After that, we have to deploy your application in our server, and you need to access the web application. These are all the steps you have to perform, and you need to develop the servlet application. So let's say first of all, first one, what is the web application directory structure? In this one, what you are doing? So if you want to design any web application, we have to prepare application directory structure in server mission. Means, so when you work with any web application, sorry, able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So first of all, first step is you need to prepare the application directory structure. How we can prepare this application directory structure in your application, right? For this one, no need to do anything specific externally. Once you can, first of all, you need to install the Tomcat server. Go to Chrome. Okay, Tomcat. So we can use the Tomcat 9 version, Tomcat Apache Tomcat server we need to install. Why? Because if you want to deploy our web application in our server, right, we need to run in a server only. It's not possible standalone. For example, JDBC directly you are running, right? Those are all the standalone application. But if a web application is not possible to run in our local machine, I mean, without server. So just click on this Tomcat 9 download. Okay, so you can open this Tomcat software downloads. You will get it will open Apache Tomcat official website. Okay, here let's say, here see binary distribution. We have a 32 and zip and Windows, everything is there, right? If you want to download, just download 64-bit. So just assume I click this link. Okay, and go to your IntelliJ, sorry, downloads. Okay, so go to softwares. Let's say I already downloaded. Let's say I will show you how it should be. Tomcat
Yeah, see if you download, right, you will get one zip file. Let's say I will click this link. Okay, this is the zip file. Once you can unzip, you are able to get this Tomcat Apache. This is the folder, right? So directly, so once you can download it in the IntelliJ, so sorry, in the Eclipse. So once you can download this Tomcat, right, you are able to get some structure. See, once you can download it, go to your software where you can extract your zip file, right? You are able to find this structure, Apache Tomcat 9.0. Bin folder is there, and con folder, web apps, and work folder, web apps, everything available in this path. And go to your C drive, and yeah, see here in the Apache Tomcat software foundation, and go to
ఓ నాన్న
control panel.
నా ఏటీఎం అను పాన్ కార్డ్ ఇవ్వా.
ఏంది అమ్మాయి తీసుకున్నాడు పాన్ కార్డా?
See here, go to control panel, control panel. I'm checking. I am using zip file or I am installed anything. Just I'm checking, cross checking. Yeah, Tomcat 9 is there. Okay, see here. You can download it from here. Okay, so if you once you can download and you can unzip this file, you are able to see the like this. Okay, you are able to everything, it will show this folder structure. Okay, now in the first step, once you can download, configure your server, right? After that, once when you install Tomcat directory, right, in the whatever version 10, but you can prefer 9.9 version only. It will support all those all the examples, whatever environment. Okay, so once you can install Tomcat server in your machine, you are able to get all the folder structure in the web apps folder, right? You have a web apps folder in the Tomcat. See, this is the web apps folder. When you see, so in the how I will explain how to run the application in the Tomcat server, everything. So if you let's assume you done the deployment in your Tomcat server. See, once you can deploy it, your WAR file should be, there are couple of ways how to deploy your web application in Tomcat server. So it is possible to do from the Eclipse, or directly once you can develop your web application. So in the once you can generate the WAR file, copy that WAR file, put it in the web apps folder. So when you start the server, automatically this application will be started. This is one way. Second way is from Eclipse also you are able to run the servlet application. I will show you later. So once you can install the Tomcat server, you are able to get entire setup. This is nothing but deployment, directory structure. See, in the web apps you have everything in the conf folder, bin, everything it automatically done. So once you can create the servlet application Eclipse, So you are able to see in the web apps folder, you have a webinf folder, meta inf. In the webinf folder, you have a lib folder and the corresponding webinf folder, you have a web.xml file also. So everything is under in the servlet deployment, directory structure. Okay, so this is first one. I will show you what are the directory structure looks like. So next one is deployment deployment descriptor or web.xml. Okay, file. What is the use of this web.xml file or deployment descriptor? Normally they will call deployment descriptor or web.xml. So in the web.xml file, you have to mention your servlet class information. So how you can mention your servlet application, right? For example, let's say I will so here in the web.xml file, you have to mention your like servlet information, servlet classes and urls. Okay, and if you have any html files or ui pages, like for example if you run the application, right, sometimes you have to, once application is running, you are able to, you need to open some ui page. Okay, welcome some net banking application like that, right? That is nothing but welcome file declaration. Okay, next servlet information. Okay, next like filters, listeners. Okay, next like display information, so and so on. Everything deploy you need to mention in the web.xml how it should be. So how you can write the server web.xml file looks like. See here, the web.xml file will start web hyphen app tag. This is containing closing tag also. This is the closing tag. Okay, so in every servlet application, web.xml, it will start from web app tag. So this is the starting tag and this is the ending tag. In between we have to mention some your servlet information. For example, if you are using servlet application, right, you have to mention your servlet information. How to declare your servlet information? By using servlet tag. Okay, so in the servlet tag you have to mention your servlet name. Okay, you mention anything. For example, in your application you are doing some login and registration, some application, so you can mention like login, like that. You can give any name, servlet hyphen name. Okay, next servlet name you given. Next servlet class. Servlet class contains, servlet class you need to mention fully qualified name. Okay, okay, now next one, this is your servlet information. Next, we have to use servlet mapping tag. Okay, in the servlet mapping tag, we have a again closing tag and a starting tag. So in the servlet mapping tag, we have to mention servlet name as this. Okay, after that, you have to mention URL pattern. URL pattern is nothing but your URI. For example, go to your Chrome. So just facebook.com. Once you can facebook.com, you can click in, you are able to get like create account or login. See here, this UI page is automatically coming, right? This is nothing but your starting page. Okay, so how you can mention, this is the URL, base URL. So how you can mention in the servlet application, everything you mention in the URL pattern. So I'm giving pattern slash login. Okay, so this is the web app. This is your complete web.xml file. We have to mention, for example, in your application there are three servlets classes is there, like login servlet, registration servlet, servlet. So you need to mention three tags, like this is for login. Again you need to mention again register, and again we need to mention success. Again same thing also, this is for login, right? You need to mention control C and give control V here. This is a register, and you need to give fully qualified name, and you can give register. Your pattern should be register. So you need to mention how many classes you are available in your application. You need to mention entire thing. Okay, so how you can, for example, how your URL looks like. For example, let's say you are running in your application in local, right? Basically HTTP localhost colon 8080 port number, which one you are using in Tomcat, but by default Tomcat port number should be 8080. Okay, this is my port number, and this is my context path, where you can use this path. I will show you next. Here you need to mention slash login. This is my URL. See this URL where you mention here. In the same way, for register you need to mention register. If you mention success, you need to mention success. When you click this one, the corresponding for example, if you are giving login, right, it will go to the corresponding login servlet. How it should be, how flow will be executing and everything, I will show you later. I mean, servlet life cycle. Okay, this is the example of deployment web.xml. Okay, now next one is, so next one is what is the third point I mentioned? So third point should be prepare your required servlets class. How you can mention, how you can write the servlet classes, I will show you. Fourth one is start the server and deploy your application in your server and access the web application. Access means this is the URL. Okay, this is nothing but steps to prepare your servlet application. Okay, now I will explain one more thing. What is servlet? Okay, and in how many ways are you are able to prepare the servlet? Next point. So what is the servlet? So servlet is an object available at server mission, which you must implement either directly or indirectly using servlet interface. Servlet is the interface. Okay, servlet is the interface. So there are three ways we have to create the servlet application. One is by using servlet interface, by using generic servlet class, and by using third one is HTTP servlet class. So by using these three, you have to write, you have to implement servlet applications. Okay. So initially they are using servlet interface by extending by implementing servlet interface. They are using after that on top of servlet they are using again generic servlet class. And here some of the limitations is there, some of the disadvantages there, that's what they come up with generic servlet. What are the, again on top of generic servlet class, again they create, they introduce new HTTP servlet class. What are the differences, all those three, why they are using why they are come up with different classes and interfaces, I will explain right after some time. So the main intention of uh, three implementation, you need to prepare the servlet applications. Okay, so now first one first one so how you can how to use servlet interface by to develop the web application in the servlet application, right? First of all, so when you work with servlet applications, we have to use either servlet interface, either generic servlet, or either HTTP servlet. If you want to nowadays they are not using any servlets, it's already outdated, no one is using servlets. Okay, but if you understand the servlets, you are easy to understand the springs and spring boot. Okay, so what is servlet? Internally spring and spring boot also running in the servlet only, but they are created some frameworks on top of servlet, right? So what is the purpose of servlet? What is the different ways to create the servlet application? First of all, servlet is a object, it will available in the server mission, and to implement either directly or indirectly in servlet interface. Okay, so how many ways to create the servlet applications? By using servlet interface, by using generic servlet, and by using HTTP servlet. Okay, first one, how to develop web application by using servlet interface. So if you use this approach, if you want to prepare servlet, then we have to take user defined class. Okay, for example, let's say you are preparing one login application. Okay, so then in that case your requirement is you need to perform some login and registration some application, right? So in that case, first of all, your basic step is, first you need to learn understand the requirement. So what is your requirement? I need to perform some registration and login operations. So how to perform these operations by using servlets? So by using servlet interface, first of all you have to write one customized class, user defined class. Let's say my class name is login servlet. Okay, this is my class. So public class login servlet, you need to implement. So interface, you need, for example, this is the class, right? So you need to implement interface by using implements keyword only. So you have to write servlet. So this is the your syntax. So once you can write this, once you create the class like this, here in your IntelliJ, in the Eclipse, you are able, it will show you need to you need to implement the methods. So it will, once you can implement servlet interface, okay, it will ask override the default methods. What are the default methods? So I will show you what are the all those methods. Next one. what is what is second one, second approach. Second approach should be, so this is class, right? No need to use, this is my login servlet. So generic servlet is a class, no need to use implement. How to extend the class, one class to another class, by using extend scriver. Okay, generic servlet. Okay, this is one approach. Third one, what is the third one? Public class login servlet. This is also HTTP servlet, also class. So no need to use interface, right? So then what you have to do, again extends one class to another class, we have to use extend keyword HTTP servlet. Okay, this is the syntaxes of how to create the servlets by using these three approaches. Okay, so we can see manual, why we can see we have a different methods is available. We can see going forward. Okay, now
Mama, 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 mama.
yeah, so the we have some methods, how to implement the methods I will show you. So this is the way to develop your applications. Okay, so for example, in the first approach, let's say when you create any servlet application by using servlet interface, right? So you have to create class like this, public class or login servlet implements servlet, right? Then you have to override some methods. What are the methods available? Like those methods, service method, destroy method, and init method. These are all the default methods, override methods by from the servlet. Why you are overriding these methods? You are already, your class should be implemented servlet interface. Then servlet interface, right? Interface, what are the interface containing all the methods, you have to override. That is the fundamental rule of interface. Okay, so now what is the purpose of init method? Init method, service method, destroy method. Okay, so init method, it will do servlet initialization. Okay, so just when you run the application, right, servlet it will invoke, that is nothing but init method will handle. Okay, service method, what is the purpose of service method? Service method, it will handle business logic, like whatever, for example, in login servlet, right, you are using username and password. When you give username and password, click on submit, the corresponding login servlet class will execute. In the directly, it will first of all init method, it will execute. After that, it will go to service method. In the service method, what you are writing the code, right, automatically the service method, it will run. After that, your destroy method, it will destroy the your servlet object. Okay, so these methods, how you can write, I mean how to develop and everything, I will show you. Okay, don't think too much on implementation, I will show you step by step after some time. Okay, once you can so init method and the corresponding service and destroy service method available, destroy method, everything is available. And one more, and get servlet in the same interface we have a get servlet info. So this method also is available. It will provide servlet information. Okay, okay. So how you can write these methods in the servlet application, I will show you. Before that, you need to understand one more point. So up to now clear? You have any doubts? Guys, any doubts up to now? Any doubts, please let me know. Okay, so now, so I explained how to develop the servlet application, but in the application we have to return some responses, right? For example, if you go to your Facebook, if you run this URL, see http www.facebook.com, it's giving some response. When you hit this URL, you are getting some response. Whatever UI page or message, whatever, you are getting some response, right? So in the servlet application, how you can prepare responses by using servlet, right? So in servlets we have to use servlet response and servlet request. Two things is there. So servlet response is using some different types of response types, like mime type should be text or html format, or image format, or jpeg format. What you are if you want to display the response in the browser, you need to set the response content type. So in the servlet, by default, if you run the servlet application, by default servlet will return text slash html format. Okay, if you want to json format, you have to mention some, you need to change some logic. How you can mention, I will explain. So after that, so how you can how to prepare the servlet. So tomorrow I will explain these entire things, how to develop um, these three applications. After that, we have a some important concepts on servlet, like dispatch request dispatcher, and servlet context, servlet uh, config. So these things and include tag and forward, those things all I will explain. Okay, so up to now clear? Is it clear? So I will, yeah, I will explain one more time. So what is response types? There are static response and dynamic response. So static response means this is not a generator. For example, in your application, if you are using username and password, when you click on submit, so the corresponding username and password will be validated, right? So static response, it won't change in application user to user. Okay, for example, sometimes if you are let's say request is coming from like Darshan, first time you are hitting the service Darshan, right? You are getting some response, and again Chetan, you are hitting a same response you are getting. So in the, so in the same response you are getting, that is nothing but static response. For example, if you are changing, what is the difference between dynamic response? See, dynamic response is nothing but, for example, in the when you submit button, when you use the login page, right? In login page, here you using email address and mobile number. When you click on login, the corresponding username and password validate, it will return the corresponding username, phone number is validate. So if you giving, let's say for example, this is my phone number and I'm giving password. When you click on login button, right, the corresponding, let's say here, see, oh, sorry, see here, user success. Okay, see here, when you click on this login button, you are able to, okay, see here, when you click on this login page and the username and password login button, I need to send the response. See, the corresponding user success. Okay, this is the dynamic response. Whatever you entered username, it will display here. But in the static response, if you use same username, here statically you mention your application, Chetan will give the mobile number and password, or Darshan you are giving username and password. Login page is common. Like response should be common. User login success. See, this is my static. It won't change by user. But in the dynamic response, when I'm giving username and password, it will add the username, right? Username. Let's say Darshan. See, Darshan user login success or Chetan. Chetan login success. Okay, this is nothing but dynamic response. Okay, this is nothing but static response. Okay, now, so tomorrow class I will explain. Sorry, we will start the examples. Okay, see guys, actually, I didn't mention. Mm, yeah, profile. Yeah, so as of now I didn't mention my JDBC. So you guys are practicing, no problem. If you are stuck anywhere, tomorrow morning I will upload my JDBC examples here. You are able to see tomorrow morning JDBC folder here. So tomorrow onwards, day by day, I mean tomorrow I will start the servlet examples, right? Everything I will same day I will upload all the examples in the servlets folder. Okay, so these things and all, how you can get, I will explain that corresponding. So this is these things and all spring related. So JDBC and servlets I will explain. I will create a folder, new folder. Okay, tomorrow you are able to see JDBC folder. If you want to check those examples tomorrow after 11 a.m. you can check the, this is my URL. Please use this one. Okay, so tomorrow we'll start the implementation servlet examples. So these are all so why I'm not writing in front of you guys. These are all the, let's say, these things and all you need to practice, guys. If without practice you cannot understand. So tomorrow, this is first servlet. I'm giving just a sample. See here, we have a first servlet here. See here, I'm using servlet, right? So how methods is how you can write this example, how you are writing any JSP pages or J. So these are all entire how many projects you are able to see here, right? These are entire JDB servlet programming. Okay, I will explain all those things. You have to practice it. Okay, so today for this today this is the class. Okay, tomorrow onwards we will see the programming. Okay, don't miss the classes. So actually, oh, just a second. How many guys are available? Mm, yeah, yeah. Ishwarya last Friday joined, and Shushmita and Sunil. So guys, Chetan or Darshan, you people are comfortable with morning class. Some of the guys are asking in morning class. So you people are okay with morning.
Yes, sir.
So morning which time?
8 o'clock, 8:30. Okay, sir.
After after 8, okay, right?
Yeah, yeah.
8:30 or 9.
Yeah, it's okay, sir. 9
So
need to go to job, sir, actually.
sorry,
Some of the students need to go to job, sir, at 9 o'clock in the morning.
9 o'clock itself.
Yeah, but 8 to 9, it's okay, I guess so.
Yeah, 1 hour is not sufficient. That's what I'm thinking. Morning class, so if evening it's not possible to take the 1.5 hour. Why? Because you will start 8:30 means it will take up to 10 o'clock. Dinner will late, right? So
Uh-huh.
morning class it will take 1.5 hour extra means it is not a problem. That's what I'm checking.
Yeah, then it's okay, sir. 8 to 9:30 we can do, not a problem.
Yeah. So
Once,
Darshan, what about you?
sir, once ask with Sunil Kumar. He is doing job now.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I am also thinking after. I mean, 8:30 to 9:45 or I'm thinking like that.
Okay, okay.
Sir, 8:30 to 9:30 is good.
1 hour is 1 hour. Actually, 1 hour is sometimes when you when you discuss the important topic, right? You cannot stop immediately. So that's what at least 1 hour 15 minutes it takes sometimes.
Sir, you can start at 8:15, sir. It will be mid.
Yeah, yeah. So actually,
Yes, sir. 8 o'clock is also good, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
8 to 9:30.
Yeah.
yeah. So actually, I'm expecting everyone. We need to check all those all the candidates, right? Otherwise, some people will not comfortable. That's what I'm expecting anyone. But some Friday also no one joined.
I joined, sir, on Friday, 13th.
No, no, I majority actually last Friday. Yeah, you joined and Sunil. I think Darshan is there or not. I don't know, but Sushmita is there and Aishwarya also is there.
Yeah.
Okay, we will join. We will join again tomorrow class. Tomorrow we can take the class 8:30 only.
Sir.
So tomorrow class we can decide what is the timing. Okay.